Book 2, The College. Alpha Vampire's Mate, the prophecy speaks of an uprising. Callista continued. A war. The vampire clans are fractured. There's a new faction rising, one that will stop at nothing to take control of everything. And the only thing standing between them and total destruction is the bond between you and Lucian. Evelyn's heart raced as the pieces began to fall into place. A war, the bloodshed, the danger, the looming threat. It all made sense, but it was too much. She wasn't ready for this. She wasn't ready to be the savior of a world she didn't even know existed. What do we do? Lucian asked, his voice low but filled with determination. Callista's eyes flickered to Evelyn. Protect her, she said simply, at all costs. Because if you fail, everything will burn. Chapter 8, The Betrayal. Despite the warnings and the growing tension, Evelyn and Lucian tried to maintain some semblance of normalcy, but it was becoming clear that normalcy was no longer a luxury they could afford. It all came crashing down when Evelyn received a call late one night, the voice on the other end chilling her to the core. Evelyn, the voice whispered, distorted but unmistakable. You have no idea what you're really dealing with. The line went dead. She didn't need to ask Lucian about it. She could see the change in him, the cold, hard edge that had begun to replace his warmth. There was something off, something he wasn't telling her. The next morning, Lucian's absence was noticeable. He hadn't returned to the dorm, and his phone went straight to voicemail. Panic rose in Evelyn's chest as she realized what had happened. Lucian had been taken. A sharp pain shot through her chest, and without thinking, she ran. She ran through the campus, down dark corridors, and to the one place that had always been safe, Lucian's secret hideout in the woods. But when she arrived, she found something far worse than she expected. Lucian was there, but he wasn't alone. And the one person she never expected to betray him stood before her. Damien. Lucian. No. Evelyn gasped, her heart shattering. Lucian looked at her with pain in his eyes. Evelyn, stay back, he warned, but it was too late. The truth was out. The betrayal had begun. Chapter 9. The Final Choice. The battle that ensued was chaotic, filled with rage and heartbreak. Evelyn found herself caught between the man she loved and the man who had once been his closest ally. Lucian was fighting not just for her, but for everything he had built, for his family, his clan, and his legacy. But as the blood spilled, Evelyn had to make a choice that could save them all, or destroy them forever. Chapter 10. The Ultimate Betrayal. Evelyn's heart raced as she stood there, staring at Lucian and Damien. The tension between them was palpable, thick with hatred and unspoken words. Lucian's eyes, once so warm, so full of promise, were now hard, unreadable. You were always the weak link, Damien sneered, looking at Lucian with contempt. Always letting your emotions control you, but now it's too late. Evelyn's breath caught in her throat. Damien's words hit her like a slap in the face. What did he mean by that? Why was he doing this? Lucian's jaw tightened as he stepped in front of her, blocking her from Damien's view. Stay back, Evelyn, Lucian said softly. His voice strained. This isn't your fight, but it was. She knew it deep down. This wasn't just about Lucian's past, it was about her future, their future. Damien's laugh echoed in the clearing. You think you can protect her, Lucian. You're too weak. The prophecy says she's the key to my rise, not yours. And the sooner you realize that, the better. A chill ran down Evelyn's spine as Damien's eyes flashed with dark intent. He wasn't just after power, he was after her. The realization hit her like a lightning bolt. She was the prize in this war. Lucian turned toward her, his face etched with regret. I never wanted this for you, Evelyn. I never wanted you to be caught in this world, but it was too late to turn back now. She was part of this world, no matter how much she wished it weren't true. Lucian, she said, her voice steady despite the chaos around. Not afraid of you, or him. Lucian's eyes softened, but his posture remained tense. You don't understand, Evelyn. Damien isn't just an enemy, he's part of the old guard, a traitor who's been plotting for years. If he wins, it's not just the vampire world that falls, it's every supernatural being in existence. Evelyn felt the weight of his words. She had never imagined her life would become this, full of danger, deceit, and unearthly forces. But she had a choice to make now. Stay and let Lucian fight alone, or take the risk of standing by his side, no matter the cost. Then let's finish this, Evelyn said, her voice steely with resolve. Chapter 11. The Unthinkable Choice. The night was shrouded in the sounds of battle, growls, hisses, and the shattering of the quiet woods as Lucian and Damien clashed. But Evelyn knew that she couldn't just be a spectator. She had to do something. She glanced at Lucian, who was locked in a fierce struggle with Damien, the two of them moving so fast that they were little more than blur. It was like watching two predators battling for supremacy, but her attention was quickly pulled away by a low growl from behind her. Another figure had appeared, tall, dark, and incredibly fast. Before Evelyn could react, the figure lunged, grabbing her by the arm. She gasped in surprise, but the figure's grip was firm and unyielding. She looked up, ready to scream, but then she froze. "Let her go." Lucian roared, his eyes wild with fury, but the figure didn't flinch. Instead, it lifted its face toward the moonlight, revealing another vampire, one Evelyn had never seen before, but one who carried a dark, familiar air of authority. "This is a mistake, Lucian," the new vampire said, his voice cold and commanding. "She belongs with us, not you." Evelyn's heart skipped a beat as the realization hit her. They were all after her. They wanted her not just because of the prophecy, but because she was the key to controlling the fate of their world. Lucian's expression darkened, his fangs visible now as he growled. "Don't you dare touch her," the vampire, whoever he was, laughed. "You're weak, Lucian. You always have been. That's why the prophecy spoke of her. The true power is hers to command, not yours. If you want to save her, you'll have to face the consequences." Evelyn's world spun as she tried to break free from the stranger's grip. "What do you mean? What's happening?" she demanded. The vampire's lips twisted into a cruel smile. "You're caught between two forces, Evelyn. The Alpha's mate bond is strong, but it's nothing compared to what you are capable of. You have the power to destroy everything, or to rule it all, and Lucian, he's nothing but a stepping stone." Lucian lunged forward in a blur of motion, but the new vampire was already gone, leaving only a faint, chilling laugh behind. "Lucian," Evelyn cried, her chest tightening. "What's happening? What does he mean?" Lucian's eyes locked onto hers, his body tense as though holding back a flood of emotions. "It means I failed you, Evelyn," he said quietly. "I was supposed to protect you, but now it's you who must decide. The prophecy didn't say I would win. It says you will choose." Chapter 12, The Final Decision. Evelyn's heart pounded in her chest as the weight of Lucian's words hit her with full force. She had spent so much time denying the truth, pushing away the reality of her bond with him. But now it was clear. She was the center of it all. She was the one with the power to change everything. As the night drew on, the quietness of the forest returned, but the tension between them hadn't dissipated. The moon hung high above them, its light filtering through the trees in a soft glow, almost as if it were watching them. Lucian stood beside her, but there was a distance between them now, a chasm that neither of them could ignore. "Evelyn," Lucian said, his voice thick with emotion, "the decision is yours. I can't protect you from this. I can't fight this war for you. If you choose me, you choose to walk into a world of darkness with no guarantee of survival. If you choose Damien, you'll be a queen in a shattered kingdom, one where your heart is as empty as the throne you'd sit upon." Evelyn's pulse quickened. She had always been a fighter, but this was unlike anything she had ever faced before. But then she remembered something Lucian had told her when they first met. The bond between them was ancient, unbreakable. In that moment, the choice was clear. "I choose you, Lucian," she said, her voice firm and unwavering. "We will fight this together, no matter the cost." Lucian's eyes softened with relief, and for the first time in days he smiled, genuine, full of warmth. The weight that had pressed on his shoulders seemed to lift slightly, and for a brief moment it felt like they were the only two people in the world. But they both knew that this was just the beginning. There was still so much left to fight for. Chapter 13. Into the darkness. The next day was a blur of preparation. They gathered their allies, both within the vampire community and outside it. There were whispers of others who had been waiting for this moment, when Evelyn would choose a side, and the war would begin. As they prepared to face the uprising, Evelyn knew one thing for certain. No matter what happened, she would stand by Lucian. Together, they would rewrite the prophecy, and together, they would face whatever darkness came their way. The end.